What's up, YouTube? This is Station here, and on this edition of Anime Reactions, we're gonna go ahead and react to episode 6 of the third season of Golden Kamuy. So I was gonna, so I don't wanna, brag on the details with this, but initially this morning I was not really into it. I don't want to specify what the reason is because I want to get the personal. I don't want to have ramble about personal feelings right now. It's just more of like along the lines of like, because of how I did feel up to this point about the overall story, like it's still really good, but the plot wasn't getting any, the plot wasn't doing it for me personally. I know like driver reviews was saying that this point in the manga was supposed to be the hype moment, but for someone who has not touched the manga yet, I cannot say otherwise, and probably I may have a different feeling about it, or like it may, I don't know. I don't want to, like, I was not really sure, but everything just kind of went to pass, and a little bit of decision making here and there. I decided I'm able to do it. Like I was gonna initially put this off, going the Kamuy reaction today off for later, or maybe just discontinue altogether at worst case scenario. But the thing is, really got to think about also what compared to the algorithm I get with Tonikawa, regardless of how I feel about Tonikawa, and then there's also Jujutsu Kaisen. This is just like, do I feel like I want to do this? This is also the same thing I have with Akudama Drive. Like, I might not do reactions to that anymore, depending on my motivation with that, compared to what I do on Fridays and Saturdays. It sucks how my algorithms are going, but I mean, if it's because people are trying to spread a bad name about me having a very strong opinionated discussions, then I'm sorry. I do apologize for that, but that's just how it is. I gotta be honest. When I talk about things like this, it's because like I'm not as talkative like this unless like because that's why I like anime. That's why I love anime, even though I have to be critical of it, you know. But like, if I was not as vocal about it, then I wouldn't be watching anime in the first place. Just saying. I mean, when you enjoy, I mean, there's something you can get out of it. I know it's not gonna get into. I know. I will say this, and people will just will just not at least get it or understand. Like, it'll still just pass over their head because that's how most people are like nowadays. Because they only want what they want. They only believe what they want to believe. That's it. But that's just how it rolls, man. Not everyone's gonna be on your side. That's the bottom line. I just wish more people will be understanding, though. That's just how it is. But I'm gonna pass that up. Let's get to episode 6 and shootout, snipers. The sniper battle. That's all I'm just gonna say. So I'm just gonna head right into this. Episode 6 of season 3 of Golden Kamuy, starting in 3, 2, 1, let's jam. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Wait. No. Alright, sorry. Put that back. I don't know what it was like. The fucking... the video just, I don't know what will happen to that one. Alright, let's try that. Take 2. This is also why I have it. I was apprehensive about wanting to go on with this in the first place, maybe. Alright. Episode 6 again. Starting in 3, 2, 1, let's jam. Huh? Looking for something? Oh, it's far, yep. No, I'd have to say he lost. He probably lost neither. Wait, I didn't read this in history. I mean, this is where this is where I'm told the story really starts to pick up. But that's also the parts regarding the story, the overarching story itself was what's something that I wasn't exactly feeling in season two either. But the thing is, like, I have to be indifferent. I have to try to be more indifferent about that right now because I don't want to come off like an asshole on that regard. I mean, will it finally come to the point where I don't know, like, still beats me what they want to achieve in the end. I know they have to supposed to find some treasure, but well, they were. Mm. Okay. I mean, it's diversion, obviously. I mean, that's obvious. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's not that's obvious not him. So he's the one that fire. That he's the one that made the misfire. You know, to draw the attention, draw him out of his hiding. I'm sure Aishi of all people to kind of do it. It hasn't been moving. Like, have you really considered my guy? Or just how awkwardly his place is just like, does that positioning make sense? I mean, okay, maybe the anime did not depict it as well, but you know, to make it that selling of a deception, but found out finally. Hmm. Probably too late when you find out. Once you pan up, oh, he's hiding in the, he's hiding in the coffin. Or not? With diversion, a an extra diversion. Up, got him. It's a nice way of animating the eyes like that. Hmm. Uh-oh. He's having delusions, isn't he? Or like a flat of combination of delusions and flashbacks, you know. I'm I don't know. I think I may have heard like, unless if I'm mistaken, I think there's just like a consequence of trying to eat snow in substitution of water, or it's just that it's not enough and he's still very dehydrated in general, and he's just remembering his past. I don't know. Well, yeah, they're charging in, holding the flag, and and they're usually not able to defend themselves. There's bros before hoes, and there's bros with hoes. Is that what we're getting at? Okay, never mind. Yeah, I think I'm gonna really pick up the manga. I think I should pick up the manga after this. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, so that's I see. The man Ogata does look like he's been possessed. So I can get that sort of belief. What? Of course you use his damn baldy ass head like a fucking drum. Absolute and Ingrid. I mean, Ogata is literally being haunted by his own demons, so this is kind of fitting. Oh yeah, Timmy you know, before he got half his head, half his head blown off. They all bleed the same. That's what you're telling me, right? This is why I want Mondays to be something for me this season too. Hmm. Things starting to come together, I see. Hmm. I mean, as long well, I hate to tell you this, but as long as humanity exists, war will continue to persist. That's just facts. Isn't that what Golden Kamuy is kind of all about, though? Or at least half of it. Hmm. Why is every comedic thing always gotta be passed up to him, man? Why is he always? Why does the author want this man to be the butt on the butt end of jokes? Why? There always has to be that one character. Not that I'm again not against it though. Don't get me wrong, guys. But then again, idiots out there are just gonna somehow get me, misunderstand how I feel. Nope. Mm. Uh, yeah, I also noticed that he has a familiar voice actor. This guy. There's no there. There's no such thing as as a a pure soldier after like after a war. Hmm. The usual generic guilty conscience, huh? I mean, either you, you grieve over it, or your emotions grow dull over it. There are two opposite ends of the spectrum, and they're right there in front of you, in front of me, right here. And this time he doesn't. He decides to take. He decides to put him out instead. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jisaku didn't, before he died, he didn't turn to him like that. I'm pretty sure it's Ogata just seeing things. There's a language for this too, huh? Since Shiraishi said something. Betrayal? Oh. So if it said looks like a pitchfork, it's bad news. Why do I feel like I need to learn Russian to understand what the hell they're saying? Yeah. I hope Shiraishi, meets up with Tsukimoto. I mean, assuming he doesn't die. Hmm. What will you do, man? So he just follows after him instead. I mean, yeah. I legit thought you might meet up with Sugimoto, but then, yeah, I just remembered. Sugimoto told him, take care of her. Am I gonna get demonetized? Uh oh. Great. Great. Well, shit. Well, shit. A bad sign. They should have. You should have. I was gonna say, oh, don't leave it by the fire. Of course, gonna make a new crack, but nah, they set it up. They set it up, man. Trouble brewing up ahead. Maybe Shirashi shouldn't have gone back to them after all. Maybe that's why. What? It's not like he'd know. All right. I want to really love this series more, and in a way, I do. But again, I hesitate. I do. But it is starting. But I mean, hopefully, I mean, with this episode, it does look like it's picking up pretty well now. Now, I don't want to. I don't want to be a prick, but at the same time, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to throw all my eggs in one basket and have them spill all over the place. That's a no-no. Because look at what happened with me regarding Yaiba. Kimetsu no Yaiba. Look how underwhelming for me it turned out. Golden Kamuy is different though. It's a CN. Of course it's not going to be that bad. And the way it's going, of course not going to be that bad. There's no way it's going to be that bad. There's no way. It's just that in terms like, oh, is it going to be up there for me? As of right now, I'd say this is a pretty good episode. But then again, I'd say it for any other Golden Cow, or pretty much any other Golden Kamuy. But I've said before that I was very concerned about where the plot, what it wants to do with the plot. Is it a treasure hunt? Is it a wild, like, I know that there's a treasure hunt going on, a wild goose chase, and okay, so maybe I feel like the hype up was the whole thing with the snipers part, and the foreshadowing of something bad to come. But it was another case of where an anti-hero or antagonistic figure. Oh, well, I don't know how to really classify Ogata. I don't know if he's like a definite antagonist, but obviously he's not on the good side because he was formerly associated with Tsurumi, and there's a likely case where he would maybe turn back, but he had his own reasons why he did not, why he's helping, why he is tagging along with Kurionke and Arispa and Shiraishi, because of how like the last events of season 2 kind of just went down, and why Sugimoto is trying to find Arispa in the first place. It's a nice focus on, and I like, and when they go to this, and the thing I like the most, a moral theme here. Blood, and it's in the unconventional form. Blood doesn't matter. There is no noble blood. There is no shitty blood. They all bleed. They all pretty much bleed the same way, right? Unless if you have blue blood for some reason, which I question if you're human. Like if you're bleeding something green above, like, are you a damn alien or something? But jokes aside, this Jujutsu Kaisen, the new Love Live, which unfortunately the Love Live one I'm obviously not doing the reaction to because that's just a very subjective thing, and not something where I feel like I'm gonna get much of a algorithm in comparison to everything else I'm reacting to. Although I don't know, what am I talking about? I'm reacting to the Gachumon third season, and not really a big old demographic for that one. But yeah, this one is up there. But do I want to give it an 8 out of 10 or does it stay 7 out of 10? I don't know. I'll make a decision for myself. Maybe I'll screen. Because I don't want to like, again, I don't want to be an asshole. I don't want to come off like one. Even if at least I'm not like I could have been far worse, guys. Saying, like, I could have went on ham like fucking Mother's Basement and Digibros. Just saying. But yeah, has been a really solid season so far. Despite how I feel, I didn't feel as impressed as people were trying to hype it up to be. But it was a really, really intriguing episode nonetheless. It was a really, introspective one too. Because the opposite ends of the spectrum. Like, Ogata is to the point where, the guilty conscience is, I don't even know if it's really there. It's just he's just like dulled by emotions, unless if I missed something from the previous season. But let's just say that Ogata, from what I remember, and what I'm checking here, just a little bit of a memory refreshment. Let's just say that his upbringings weren't really that sunshine and flowers. Like, he murdered his half brother, murdered his father, had no empathy for it. And honestly, you know what? I'm gonna look up this man, because I feel like a lot of stuff may have been. Maybe I should. Yeah, like, I could read the manga to see if there was more to it. Like, let's just say, yeah, his childhood, he was just like cold from the moment he was born. He was born a cold-hearted killer. From what now I do remember, like, that he was like this, practically from the start. And so, any guilt, I don't think it's a matter of like him being dulled by him anymore. Now that I think about it, it's more like I don't think he's like completely emotionless. I mean, he has a sense of pride, a sense of like an obligation to things. But the way he is raised up, I don't blame him not even really having a really pressing guilty conscience about killing people, as opposed to Zisaku, the guy he was previously associated with, who was literally on the opposite end of the spectrum because of his noble blood and how he was raised up and stuff. I mean, because Zisaku is his half brother. It's regardless of the details, you just see the opposite ends of the spectrums in terms of moralities. Like, you in two ways. In two ways, like his half brother Yusaku, not the Yusaku in Brie Reigns. His half brother Yusaku, Okuta's half brother Yusaku, is always concerned about like there has an obligation due to recognizing about noble blood, and then the peasant, under the lower class blood. Okuda doesn't give a shit about it. They all bleed the same. And then there's also the guilty conscience or not. Okuda doesn't give a damn thing about it anymore, because he's been like a cold-blooded killer from the start. While Saku had that sense of guilty conscience. That's why he hesitated to kill. He did not kill He did not kill anyone up until his death. At least not what I've seen on screen. Unless of course unless if like again I forget from from season 2, which I don't really want to go back and watch, to be honest. But yeah, it's a nice episode for that. Everything else just kind of came with the motion of it, and, you know, Ogata being able to pull off that double deception. That's kind of needed, considering he was facing a sniper of his own, of comparable repertoire. But man, he gonna have to stick with that the whole time. Like, you had him eating snow, to, you know, in place of water, and then he still faces dehydration because of that, or at least something akin to dehydration symptoms. He got, I mean, it was a really good display nonetheless. Not for me to say it's animated season though. I can't say that. There's no way I can. There's no way I can, because it's not as immersive as I thought it would, as I legit thought it would be. But to be fair, it's because of me being exposed to this series for quite a while, you'd have to think stuff would wear out as time goes by. And I'm not saying it's totally a bad thing though. It's just something that just keeps holding it back from me in some ways that I can't explain it too well even now. But it's still worth it nonetheless. I just wish I had more. I would just wish this reaction would be more worth it. Cause come on guys. I'm legit trying to do my best to make a good, honest, positive yet honest, impression about this season, and yet I'm only getting this many whatnot views and feedback. So that's just how it is for me. So sorry if it doesn't feel. Sorry if I feel like if I look like I'm complacent about things on that part. But I mean, YouTube is a shitty platform right now, the way it's going, anyways. But it's the only good thing we can really resort to in terms of sharing video content and all. I mean, Twitch needs to be until Twitch can be more flexible, of course. But that's another story. But yeah, so that's gonna do it for this edition of Anime Reaction. So like, share, subscribe, and follow me on other social media platforms. You can also join my Discord server. You can also support me on Patreon or PayPal. But that's gonna do it for this edition of Anime Reaction. So this is Beer Station signing off. See you next time, guys. Take care, stay safe, and have yourselves a good day.